We're going to give everybody a few minutes to join as we get set up, and then we're going to get started with some hydroponic seed starting. I want to see if I can get this to charge. Let's move the camera, reposition. And we'll do it on this side.
Check to make sure I can see it on my end. Cool.
All right, get this set up. Let's sort of like move everything out of the way, because this will be the space that we're going to work in. I want to get my Chromebook out of the way. Okay.
So awesome.
I'm on the charger, so my phone's not going to die. All right.
Hello, people.
Hey, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Andreas, your garden coordinator here at the Maryland Magrum Center Wellness Garden. Brianna's right there. Today we're going to be talking about how to start seeds hydroponically. So, obviously, you'd want to start seeds hydroponically if you have a hydroponic system. However, you can also start seedlings that are destined for soil hydroponically. Granted, keep in mind that the transition from hydroponics to soil is a bit rough, and you can expect a bit of a delay in the rooting time and the recovery time of your plants if you're planting hydroponic transplants into soil. But you can do it. It's a very convenient way to start seeds, very easy, it's pretty much hassle-free in terms of worrying about controlling for the right moisture levels and watering. Nutrients. Provided your system is set up correctly, you're pretty much good to go, and you're guaranteed to get good results. As long as you follow our recommendations for the mediums. So we'll be demonstrating how to use two different kinds of mediums today. The first one is rock wool. This is what's called a bonded media. So a bonded media is actually sort of like a solid material that has air pockets in it, which allows it to absorb water. So it's an amorphous solid material. And this is...
Didn't know that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but these are really great for hydroponic seed starting because they have a lot of air pockets and they absorb and hold on to water extremely well.
So you can't use regular soil then?
You cannot use regular soil to start seeds in hydroponics. You want to use something inert. So these are inert, and also we're going to be doing a mix of vermiculite and coconut coir, which we have over there. So coconut coir is just a natural fiber that is obtained from the husks of coconuts. And it's a much more environmentally friendly alternative to peat moss. Everyone's using peat moss nowadays. I highly recommend you switch to coconut coir. Properties are very similar and even better in some regards. Unlike peat moss, it does not cause a large reduction in pH when it breaks down. It's pretty much a pH neutral material. So that makes it very advantageous for use in hydroponics.
Are people able to make their own of this?
No, this you have to buy.
You have to buy it?
But this stuff, this vermiculite, which is sort of like perlite, it improves drainage, but it holds on to water a bit more, and it's a smaller particle size. I like it because of the smaller particle size. This you can buy in bulk, and the coconut coir you can also buy in bulk. And I suppose if you own a coconut plantation, you can make your own coconut coir, but I don't think there are many people in California who have coconut plantations, considering that coconut trees generally do not grow here. So
I wish they did.
I wish they did
Then we
too.
could be eating out of our
There's
coconuts.
a whole reason they can't. They can grow in the same USDA hardiness zone on the East Coast, and the reason they can't grow here is because we get cool, wet winters. They get cool, drier winters. Their winters are usually drier, but during the summer it's more humid. They like summer humidity and wet summer conditions, and
we have the opposite.
we have the opposite. So let's consider what we can grow here. Mixed greens. We do not want to do mixed greens. How about some dwarf curled Scotch kale? I like that idea.
Okay.
So definitely, I would love to grow kale in there. Do you have any preferences, Brianna?
Kale, but we already grow kale in these two systems.
Yeah, but I like this stuff. This is
Okay, that's dwarf, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Smaller.
So like if you're growing in vertical grow towers, for example, or like a smaller scale hydroponics setup, definitely watch out for dwarf varieties. Because they will stay a little bit smaller and grow a little bit better.
What about spinach? Or would spinach it would be too hot?
Late. It's too late for spinach. We missed the boat. We already had we tried growing spinach, but the seeds were like super old. It just didn't work out.
Okay, what about something fresh?
Something fresh. Too bad we don't have strawberries. Strawberry properties.
We can't grow cucumbers now.
No way. Not in that kind of system.
That sounds ridiculous to you, probably. What about sorrel?
Sorrel would do great, but we already have a bunch of sorrel.
Nah. Lettuce.
Let's see what flowers and herbs we have.
Broccoli? No.
No. I would love to grow some basil, actually. Basil's always a lot of fun to grow in hydroponics.
Collards?
Some sweet basil. Collards are too big. So for the zip grow tower system that we use, it's really important to grow smaller statured plants. Otherwise, the root zones of the plants will completely fill out the towers and cause issues with water flow. No.
Really?
No.
Why not tomatoes?
Unless they are microdwarf tomatoes. I have microdwarf seeds at home, but I did not bring them today. I put microdwarf tomatoes in there once, but they got decimated when we had a power outage.
What about a chili?
A chili pepper? It's marginal. Definitely marginal. But yeah, leafy greens are always a surefire bet for hydroponics.
But it's too late for lettuce.
Unless you have muir lettuce, or a bolt-resistant variety.
Even cherry
Evergreen
tomatoes?
mustard.
Cherry tomatoes wouldn't work?
No, not cherry tomatoes. It has to do less with the size of the fruit and more to do with the habit of the plant. Cherry tomato plants can get huge. They could just keep on growing and growing, and we don't want that in a hydroponic system where we have limited grow space. If we were growing cherry tomatoes in a large, like, media bed type system, absolutely, provided we're able to provide supports. But in those towers over there, because we're going to be planting the towers, those systems are for research. We're only growing kale right now. But if we have towers where the rooting zone is only 4 inches wide, then we need to make sure that we're growing small plants.
Even the radish was kind of...
Oh, okay, hold up. Red sails. Red sails will do okay right now. I'm not sure how viable those seeds are, but we can give it a shot. Some lettuce varieties are alright right now.
I like the idea of the basil. That would be cool because we don't know how much the basil we're growing right
So
now.
let's see, we'll do 1, 2,
So peppers can work, right?
3, 4. Peppers, they're not that productive in towers. Oh, what? Is that a spider? There was a jumping spider crawling on me the other day. Or no, earlier, not the other day.
You're so calm with spiders, and me, I'm just...
With jumping spiders,
crazy.
I don't like other spiders. I don't like, widow spiders, trapdoor spiders. They kind of freak me out. And I'm not like a bona fide arachnophobe, but jumping spiders, I know that they're friendly and they're just curious about me. So. The same thing with like a lot of bumblebees. Like they're just like if they see you, they'll like fly up to you and check you out for a minute, then go back to what they were doing. Lettuce. What kind of lettuce is this? Isn't this the mix that I got? Yeah, mixed greens. We don't want to do mixed greens. So, what happened to the other one that I had, the kale? Did we take that out?
This one.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So let's do.
There's lovage. Not that.
I don't think we want to do lettuce.
Parsley.
Yeah, we'll try parsley.
Yeah,
Let's
we
do it.
don't have any growing.
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So
How many more?
I think that's good.
Or scallions?
Yeah, let's do scallions.
Yes. Okay, scallions and parsley. I'm super excited about.
So we'll do. How about for scallions? What we're gonna want to do. I'm trying to think about how to do this right, because with scallions, the germination rates are, it takes a while to germinate, and the seedlings are very small. So I think the right thing to do with the scallions is to scatter a bunch of these in a bunch of them in one of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 planting spaces. I'd say let's do one of these scallions.
Or chives. Are chives better?
Yeah, chives would work. I mean, either would work, but chives are definitely going to work.
Do we have chives? We don't have scallions for huh? We have chives.
We have chives up there.
Are we limited to how many we can do?
Are we limited?
Can
Not
we do
really.
chives and scallions?
Well, we are limited. I mean, based on the size of that system we have right there. Because we only have enough space in our seed starting system to fit 6 of these trays, and this counts as 2. So, and this is for the rock wool. So in the rock wool, I would definitely recommend you do the parsley in there. So let's do that. Let's scratch the lettuce. You want to do chives instead of scallions?
You can't do both?
I suppose we could do both.
I just think they're so versatile in cooking. That's why I'm like, you
I've
know
made
what?
some amazing things with chives.
Yeah.
Like scallion pancakes with the chives are so
Ooh,
good.
yes, with potato or
So we'll
potato
do these
pancakes.
two.
With
This will
Yeah.
be all that, and then let's just do basil.
Yay!
Let's do basil in both of these.
Yay!
All right, so that's going to be what we're going to do. Let's put the lids back on, and let's get our planting mix ready.
I think I did this backwards.
All right, cool.
Wow.
Awesome. Let's clear our workspace. The first thing that we're going to want to do is prepare our media. We'll do the rock wool first, since that's a lot less messy. But rock wool actually are not pH neutral. They come at a pH of like 7.5 or 8. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to soak them in water that has had its pH adjusted downwards. So I've gotten pretty good at doing this by eye, so that's what I'm going to do. Let me get the acid.
Okay. Well, while he's getting that, let's see who is on here. Look at those beautiful flowers in the
Cat
background.
acid, I'm not sure I did with it.
It's so nice looking at the flowers
Yeah.
as the background.
We got seaweed extract. We're going to need this. Seaweed extract helps promote root growth. It contains natural rooting hormones.
Is that dechlorinated water?
This is dechlorinated water since we're doing organic hydroponics. So I'm just going to
Cool.
add some of this in there.
You just eyeball it?
Pretty much. I eyeball most things, you know. The best tool a gardener has is their intuition.
I sometimes don't have that, so.
It takes a while to develop. So I do need to find this. There it is.
So again, to
Gaber acid.
confirm.
Yeah, in an ideal world, you want the pH to be around 5.7 to 6.
Oh, you're adding the acid? Are you
Yeah,
adding
that
acid?
might have been too much because we need to adjust the pH downwards for the rock wool.
Okay. And then you put your hand in there. Is that safe?
Yes, because it's now diluted.
Okay.
Just don't make, I have an open wound on this hand, so I'm not putting it in there.
He's risky, people. This is so interesting. I assumed this was going to be heavy, but it's actually pretty light. He's going to explain more on what this is.
I think we have enough in here for one more test. And with this reagent, and this is the reagent you want to use. This is an ultra wide range one. Goes all the way down to 4 and all the way up to 9. Because the other stuff I have is and now this is diluted, so it's safe. And the acid wasn't very concentrated to begin with. It's only 30%. Maybe this isn't enough. Hold on. Nope. It's okay. We'll use the other stuff that I have. I need to add this to our shopping list for the garden. Some new reagent. I would like to get some of that wide range stuff.
Does that ever expire?
Probably good. Does it expire? After a long time, yeah. I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say this is probably good. It doesn't look too low, so I can tell, like, depending on how yellow it gets when I add it to the water, even though it's at the lower end of the range, and it didn't turn that yellow, so I think we're about right. We were probably like a little bit lower than we need to be. Maybe I can get this out. Oh, there we go. Just had to take off the cap. So I'm going to retest with this just to be sure. But usually I have a pretty good eye. I just want to, you know, for the sake of it. It's a little low. It's about 5. So what we do then is we add a bit more water. I'm going to add a little bit of the chlorinated water. And since I'm adding a smaller quantity, it's just going to get diluted and it'll be fine.
So what do you want the pH to be? 6?
We want the pH to be about 5.7.
5.7. That is so specific.
It is. Actually, you know what? Because of how pH works, I have to dilute this 50%. More than that, actually. But it's okay. For the purposes of our demonstration, this is fine. The seeds will still germinate. I really don't like that spitting sound that's coming out of there.
Yeah.
I think that's a water hammer effect. That could really damage the pipes. We just had a water issue today.
So, are you going to tell me what to do?
Yeah. I want you to break out as many of these cubes as to fit in there, so 24 of them. And this is the most satisfying feeling ever, breaking the Rockwell cubes up.
Oh my gosh.
Here, I'll do half, you do half. I think that's a good plan.
Oh, wow.
Isn't
That
it
is
satisfying?
satisfying.
Well, what I'll do is I'll just go like this. 3 by 4. Well, don't fill them up yet, actually. Just break them out because we want to soak them next.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm gonna pop that out. Just break up the correct amount. And see, now that I have this broken, I'm just gonna throw it in there, and it's gonna like sink. I couldn't catch it for the camera, but I'll take my phone off the charger and. But yeah, we'll throw that in there. How many you got? 9? Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. All right. Sink. They're like super light too. It's a very interesting material.
Is
But-
it made out of wood again?
Rocks. I already put 3 in there. Did you get 12? 1, 2, 3. That's 6. 9. There we go. That's it. 12. Yeah. So we just throw them in there. But yeah, essentially what it is they take basaltic rock and they heat it up in this big furnace and then they spin it into fibers like cotton candy. And it's a fantastic material for starting seeds, again, because it has many micropores in it that are able to hold on to air and water. So now what we can do is we're going to leave that soaking for a little bit. And I'm going to go get some seedling labels so that we can label the parsley.
Oh. Sounds good. Do a little
'Cause-
garden update tour while you do that.
Please.
Okay, so this bed, wow, has gone really far with all of these poppies, beans and carrots. So the beans are really supporting the carrots here. And the last of the peas, which we actually need to harvest some so that way we can save some seeds for tomorrow. Then we have this wonderful lemon balm that is doing so well because Andreas pruned it, so it's doing really well. We have this native Phacelia. Look at all those bees. You can't really see it that much in the camera, but there's tons of bees everywhere. And this is our squash bed, our modified Three Sisters. So I actually thought that the white leaves was some sort of deficiency, but Andreas said that that's normal for some squashes. So if your squash is looking like that, it doesn't always mean it's having a deficiency. What else? We have more beans here growing, and I'm excited for those beans. They're gonna be long strings coming out. What else we got? This is an update of our.
Look at that
Yeah. Huh?
buckwheat. Look at that buckwheat. That's what that stuff that's coming up and flowering is.
This is the buckwheat.
Yeah. So if you have a
Ooh.
phosphorus problem in your soil, plant buckwheat.
Nice. I didn't even
Buckwheat
know
is,
that.
is very good at solubilizing phosphorus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's clear that our soil still has a nitrogen issue. I planted a bunch of legumes, but they didn't really come up that well. So I'm probably gonna need to put more legumes in here. Or what we'll do next time is when we plant something, we'll have a ton of legumes. Because we want to do potatoes in here. What we might do is we might do beans and potatoes.
Ooh.
We might do, yeah, like beans, potatoes, carrots, radishes. We'll
So
do it in rows.
You're doing the
maybe
opposite
some
of what.
perennials too,
So
yeah.
is that a myth then that you can't plant potatoes with anything?
Yeah, I'd say so. I've definitely planted things with potatoes before. In fact, I would say fava beans, great with potatoes.
So why do they say that then? Why do they
Um,
say don't plant anything with potatoes?
Well, you know, there's always a reason. And it usually has to do, I think with potatoes, it has to do with the fact that potatoes grow really large really fast. And they'll shade out other plants. But if you time it right, and if you pick the right plant, something that can grow up really fast, like a vining plant, or like something like corn or okra, then in theory, you know, why not? Why not grow potatoes with other things? You know, I don't.
True.
I mean, will you ever think about, like, you know, do you ever find like a plant growing by itself in a healthy ecosystem in like a big monoculture? No way.
That's true, huh? Back then they didn't say, "Oh my goodness, this is only the potato side."
Yeah, but see,
That's true.
we introduced diversity. We're rebuilding the fungal network in the soil, and it's gonna, and our next crop's gonna be amazing. See, like, look over here. You see where we did the cover crops here? Right here. See now how they're taking off? They got into that soil. They established their roots, and now they're just going crazy. Look at that. They're going nuts. The zucchini and the summer squash. The okra didn't take. So the reason why the okra didn't take, partially due to a squirrel that came in and demolished the okra and the amaranth. Some of the amaranth is still there, but I think these were also just weak transplants. I brought some new okra transplants, and I'm going to get them in today or tomorrow. But probably tomorrow, given the time now. But, yeah, so, again, you know, think of how these plants grow. Like, the zucchini and the summer squash, they sprawl out. They you know, cover the soil very well. But you can have emergent crops that sort of, like, pierce that canopy that is formed by the summer squash and the zucchini. And okra is a really good example of one of those emergent crops because it grows straight up really fast. Sunflower as well. You would probably be able to grow sunflowers with potatoes. Oh, some hydrogen made it in there. But yeah, we also just recently sowed out this bed. Probably not going to see much coming up yet. Yeah, a couple things. Yeah, because we got that issue, it's drying out. It's okay. I oversowed this bed so much. Like, I put like 3 times the recommended amount of seed, so it's not going to be a problem. Anyways, I think these are adequately soaked now. So let's get back to the main subject of the video. We can talk all about soil in other videos. This video is about hydroponics. So, make sure you don't get your seed packs wet, because that can ruin your seeds. And seeds, like, you know, if you're like actually growing, you know seeds are expensive. To like get like a full seed collection going, that's hundreds of dollars. So you don't want to destroy your seeds. They're a very precious resource. They are the embryos of life in your garden.
Yeah.
So yeah, these should be nice and soaked now. And this is a bit of an old tray, so it's gotten a bit warped, but I think it'll still work. So we'll just press these in until they're like flush with the top right there.
You just put the seed in the middle?
Put the seed in the middle. Well, this one got a bit messed up. Let's not use that one. Or wait. Oh, we have extras. Never mind. Well, we'll do something with the extras. You could just plop them down in there, honestly. But okay. There we are. Rock wool. I believe I brought a marker out here. I did. So, in terms of labeling practices, you can do it however you want. But I'll just say what I like to do. I'm going to write down Italian, parsley.
Let's see your handwriting.
It's not that great.
It's
not great at all.
I should write the rest of them.
Oh, it's fine. As long as we both can read them. Can you read my handwriting?
Not really.
All right, then you can write the rest of them. So today is the 6th. So I'll put the date on there. And just... Boop. There we are. Let's not do those yet. Let's wait on opening those.
Oh, no.
So yeah, then pretty much all you got to do. Did we lose seeds? Did they escape? Did they escape our clutches?
There's a marker out.
I'm right here. Yeah, just label the variety and then the date on the back. I always think it's important to date your seeds. That allows you to keep track of when you planted them and also get a sense of how long it takes to actually grow a seedling from from seed to a transplant size. So parsley is definitely marginal right now at this heat, but here are some parsley seeds. This is what they look like. They're tiny. You guys see those? No, you probably can't. Let me help you out here. The lighting is really bad right now. There we go. Parsley seeds. So yeah, the parsley has now been labeled. And so pretty much all you got to do is drop I'd say with parsley, do a decent number of them, 4 or 5 at the very least. Because parsley doesn't tend to have very good germination rates, especially using this method. It doesn't like coming up in hydroponics as much as some other plants, so definitely sow a little bit more parsley. I'll do this while Brianna's making the seed labels. And parsley is technically cool season, and it is, mid-spring right now, so I will wager that it won't do that well, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens.
I really wanted parsley.
I know you wanted parsley.
0 at my garden.
I don't have any at my garden either. Mine declined towards the end of spring, and I took it out. Yeah, we just want to get them as close to the hole as possible. Get them in the hole if possible, and if not, get them close to the hole. And then we'll fix that later. You don't want to put too many, because then thinning them out becomes a hassle. And parsley at this time of year will probably take about 5 weeks to be transplant size. Parsley is a bit slow.
We're using this medium for the rest?
Yeah, we're going to be mixing some of our own seed starting medium after this. Alright, so yeah, these are extra. What we like to do with extra seeds? Scatter them underneath the fruit trees. We'll get some, and if it's a, and see the thing is, nature is smart, okay? Nature's really smart. Nature knows, if a plant is supposed to be in a certain place. So if you just put a bunch of seeds everywhere, then whatever is going to do well in that environment is going to come up and it's going to thrive. Especially if you have diversity. So why not scatter extra seeds underneath fruit trees? I do that all the time. I get radishes and stuff coming up,
I just realized you brought habanero pepper.
I did. We're going to put
and
those...
okra.
Yeah, I had to get more okra because the squirrels destroyed our okra.
The squirrels. I love them, but then...
I started those from seed. Like when you the first time you start a plant from seed and you get it in and then something comes along and eats it, it's like so crushing.
It is crushing. I know what it's like.
Because it's so easy to go to the hardware store or the nursery or whatever and buy transplants. But when you start your own seeds, you know, like that's your baby. Your baby has just got eaten by that squirrel. And I'm not really. I mean, I'm a father and I feel very differently about my son than I do my plants, but you get what I mean. You all get it. It's very
Plants
crushing.
are like your children, kind of. Okay, maybe not like your actual child. But
Not like an actual child, but in a
you
way they are
care for
like
them.
your children. You care for them.
wish I could like
Yeah, yeah, you could. That actually would probably work better.
what you're doing.
You could use anything really. You just want to get them inside the hole so they're not exposed to direct light. Some seeds require light to germinate, but generally you want most seeds to be pretty buried. And the rock wool will also wick water onto the seeds on a continuous basis. And we'll go over the basic idea of an ebb and flow system in a minute, and what that entails and how it works. But the concept is very simple. All you got to do is irrigate these rock wool cubes from the bottom and keep them moist, and then that moisture will be transferred to the seeds, and then the seeds will be stimulated to germinate. And so as long as we get the seeds in that hole, germination is pretty surefire guaranteed. So, yep, that one's done. So we're going to set this one aside, and we're going to talk about how to mix our own seed starting medium. So here we have vermiculite, right? Over here we have coconut coir. So yeah, this gives you 3 cubic feet. We do not need 3 cubic feet. No way. We only need like a little bit. So I in fact am going to take another container to wet this. Because the last thing we want to do is waste our germination medium. You know, like this stuff will get you really far. You don't want to waste it. And coconut coir comes in these big compressed blocks, and you kind of have to like remove pieces of it. And then when you add water, it expands.
Is one necessarily better than the other?
One what?
One medium?
Well, the reason I like coconut coir, A, it comes in a very portable form. B, it is a lot more sustainable than something like peat moss. And
Is it better than that one?
C, it doesn't, it's chemically inert, like in terms of the pH. So, is it better than that one? That's up for you to decide. Some people prefer the rock wool, some people prefer making what is called a loose media. You know, a media that is comprised of particles rather than as a solid material with airspace and voids in it. So I'm just going to break this up a little bit. You want to try?
Yeah.
And this is probably way more than enough. If we have extra, we'll save it, I guess. But you don't want to activate it until
actually,
you're.
it's a different
You generally don't want to activate it until it's
kind
time
of a
to use
weird
it.
texture.
Yeah. So let's get something to pour some of this in here, and it'll expand. You'll see how much it'll expand.
You know what this feels like? This feels like a science project. Kind of like what you used to do in...
So we just prepared a seed starting solution, so we're going to use that. We're just going to add it.
This looks like a sound and sounds like a science project.
I know, right? It's great. And it's going to start expanding. I think we need to get another bucket. We only have one, like, bucket.
Big bucket?
Another big bucket. It's always good to have a couple of them, because they're useful for things like this when you're trying to, like, soak your coconut coir.
That would be another good thing to add to the list then.
Yeah.
Bucket, the pH thing. I'm trying to keep track in my head. But
Yeah, we got, you know, we're able to get some stuff for the garden right now. Thank you, thank you, Campus Quality Fee. You see, you guys pay the Campus Quality Fee, but it funds us, and it makes sure that our garden is nice and beautiful and has all the supplies that it needs. Here at the Maryland Magrum Center, so that you guys can come and enjoy it when there's no more pandemic or when the restrictions are lifted. And we've been spending a lot of time making sure this garden looks really good when we return for fall semester.
Looks so satisfying.
You say that, so try it.
Oh my gosh, okay, it's like, woo! Oh wow, okay, this is not what I was expecting here.
Is it not satisfying? Are you not pleased?
I am pleased. This is just, wow. Feels like, okay, I don't even know if I should explain what it feels like.
Then don't. Then don't.
It's kind of nasty.
We need to keep it G-rated for the live stream.
If I had an option,
must be G-rated.
I think I would use that. I don't know, unless you like the experience. This seems a little like, I don't know. It's just different.
Yeah. Let's transfer
Seems a
this
little
into
more
another
messy.
vessel.
Okay.
You know what? In fact, what I think we should do is, we don't need as much of this solution that we have right here now. So I'm going to dump this out on the fig tree.
Oh yeah, make good use of it, right?
Well, at least part of it. I'm not going to dump out all of it. We really need water after this. Like these ground covers I put in here are just dying. Like that.
That stuff so weird.
It's been
So
too hot.
That's why we changed the live, so we're going to be doing this at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it's 4 o'clock from now on.
The
because
1
it's
o'clock
just too
time
hot.
was just
Too
terrible. Middle of the afternoon. And after 3, it starts cooling down. So.
There's no way that thing gives up to 3 cubic feet. That's nonsense. That's poppycock.
What?
That's poppycock. It's nonsense.
Poppy.
Poppycock. You've never heard the word poppycock?
What is that?
It's another word for nonsense.
Poppy? But what, like the actual flower poppy?
Yeah, I guess so. I think the British like to use that or something.
Poppycock. Hello. That's poppycock. I can't. That was a terrible accent. I'm not gonna try a British accent again.
Hey, we're going to try and get it to be 50-50.
Would you like a cup of poppycock? That was terrible.
A cup of nonsense.
Cup of nonsense. Here in the.
Don't drink nonsense. Drink tea that you from herbs that you grew in your garden.
Yes.
Which reminds me,
Oh, have you made sun tea?
yeah, I've been making sun tea, and I've also been drying some catnip.
Oh.
I have some catnip in my garden. I want to make some catnip tea, and also my sister is going to be coming back from Boston, and then she's
You
going to
have
have
a
her cat.
sister?
Yeah, I have a sister and 2 brothers.
I had no idea. You never talked about them.
Not really, no, I don't. So how is this supposed to be? I don't understand that. So let's see how much we actually have here. I haven't used this stuff in a very long time, so bear with me. It's been years since I've used coconut stock.
It feels like hairy mush.
Yeah, it does. It's kind of gross, but...
And it looks like the expels from a cow.
Okay.
That's the best way I can explain it, but you know what?
This is definitely not going to be that much. This is definitely not 3 cubic feet.
I was going to say something. Oh, I learned that when you make sun tea, though, you should be careful not to leave it out too long, like more than 2 hours.
2 to 4 hours.
Okay, 2 to 4. I feel like 4 is kind of pushing it because it can be, since it's moisture and heat, it could be like a host for bacterial growth. But then I was thinking like the herb might, I don't know.
Depends
kill
on the
off
herb, you know.
bacteria.
I wouldn't chance that.
Yeah.
I've left
So-
sun tea out for like 5 hours before, maybe 6 hours, but even then, not much longer than 4.
Yeah, and I heard that you should just put it in the fridge right away.
That's what I do. I drink sun tea as iced tea all the time. Let's see if we can break up some more. What's your favorite flavor of sun tea?
I've only made lemon verbena sun tea, so I guess that's my favorite.
I like to do a yerba mate with a garden mint blend.
So you buy yerba mate?
Yeah, I buy the yerba mate. You can grow yerba mate in the Los Angeles area. I don't know about the valley, but I've definitely seen it being grown in like Marcus.
What does it look like?
It's a little. It's like a small tree. It's like an understory tree of the rainforest.
Small tree.
It just looks like any other like small tree, like evergreen tropical
Like a
looking tree.
dwarf. I'm so excited for our dwarf apple tree.
That's blooming. That's I don't know. Oh hey, look at the male carpenter bee over there.
Oh my goodness! The people need to see this.
Take the camera.
Wait. What is this?
A male carpenter bee. They do not sting.
Okay. He looks crazy. Ah, I'm scared. I'm sorry for not being professional right now, but this is kind of huge and it's kind of scaring me.
It won't hurt you. You can't sting.
Whoa.
It physically cannot. It has no sting.
Okay, but
The
it looks kind of huge. Okay.
The females are
We're
the
done
jet
seeing
black ones, and they do sting. And their sting is not pleasant, to say the least.
Okay.
I've been stung by.
Sorry, that was that was huge. It's like a huge hairy. Think of a bee times 10 with a lot of hair.
It's so fuzzy. It looks like a teddy bear.
My goodness. Yeah, a scary teddy bear.
Scary teddy bear. Teddy bear of doom.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Okay, so
Oh no, here go our seats.
apparently
You might want to get those.
I
But yes,
had
you were
no
saying?
idea. Huh?
You were saying?
Oh, I had no idea. Well, Andreas was showing me native bees. They're
Native
like so
bees.
tiny, and they look.
Not all of them are tiny, but a lot of them are.
I didn't know. I thought it was
That's
just.
a native bee.
I thought it was just the regular bees that we see, that are the only ones that exist. But I didn't know there's different varieties of bees.
I think there's like 4,000 species of bee native to California, something like that.
Oh my gosh,
Or is it 2,000? I don't
that's
remember.
insane.
Don't quote me on that.
That is
But
insane.
biodiversity. This is why we plant diverse gardens, to attract your local biodiversity and create safe havens for them,
Yeah.
where they're not exposed to pesticides and poisons and you know, all this other nasty stuff that we put in the environment. So
Yeah. There's a wonderful
So there's-
population
there's enough.
at the Seasun Food Garden. Oh, the females are black. Thank you for
Females are
teaching
black.
us that.
I've seen a couple females here, but mostly it's been males.
Okay, I've seen the black ones. I didn't know those were considered bees.
They are bees. They're carpenter bees.
Oh, okay. You learn new things every day. I did not know
It
that.
seems to soak a bit more. There's still like chunks of this stuff that is not opened up. But yeah, so basically the idea here is 50% coconut coir, 50% vermiculite. You can also use perlite.
Oh, you added this stuff?
I'm going to add it. But can you make sure the camera's pointed here? You know what? I'll do this. Maybe you can...
Valley carpenter bees specifically.
Valley carpenter bee. Thank you. I did
Oh.
not know the exact species.
Thank you for teaching us about this. I had no idea.
Valley carpenter bee. Good to know. I
So-
remember that. They love pollinating legumes. Actually, I've seen them all over fava beans and the natives, which are the lupines.
Oh my goodness, I have, speaking of natives, guess what?
What do you do?
My mom bought native milkweed seeds.
Oh, did she?
Yes.
Better plant 'em.
Yeah.
Which one? The Asclepias fascicularis, narrow-leaf milkweed?
Yeah, narrowleaf.
You want to go narrow-leaf. Mine are starting to come up in aquaponics. I've been able to successfully germinate narrow-leaf milkweed in aquaponics, and I'm actually very surprised by that. Because you would
Cool.
think, you know, as a native plant that's like super drought tolerant, wouldn't do well in aquaponics, but the opposite is true.
The same person said they specialize in a lot of salvias. What's a salvia?
Oh yeah, salvia, like sages.
Oh.
Our hummingbird sage is about to bloom. I really want to get native sages here.
We have hummingbird sage?
Yeah, we do. It's the one that's in that little terracotta pot over there. I'd love to get that thing in the ground. It looks so sad in there. It's not the right place for it. But yeah, I think that's adequate.
Oh, I remember. I thought that was catnip for the longest.
Yeah, you thought that was catnip. I wasn't sure it was, and then I realized, oh wait, it's hummingbird sage.
So, the narrowleaf milkweed germinates well in water. Thank you for that.
Good to know,
I'll make
thank
sure I'll do that with the one I have at home. Okay, so that's what again?
Vermiculite.
Vermiculite.
It's to increase aeration. It's like a special kind of rock that's like baked in a furnace. That's good. Yeah, 50-50 is perfect.
They have 5 different species of native sages at the food garden. I've seen, okay, my favorite sage, I don't know the name of it, but it's the one that has, it's purple flowers. It's along the side here in front of Redwood.
Oh, that's Cleveland sage.
I love that sage.
I believe that's Cleveland sage.
It smells like
It's-
if I could make potpourri out of that.
Oh
it
yeah,
smells so
Cleveland
good.
sage is like, it is magical smelling. If you want to grow any native sage, grow Cleveland sage. It's not native locally. It's more to like the San Diego and Orange County areas, but you know it is still a sage.
Yeah, do they sell seeds of that? I want to grow some at home because we have.
They sell Cleveland sage at a lot of nurseries that specialize in native plants. It's a very easy one to find.
So maybe I can find it at that one place.
Theodore Payne?
Yes, Theodore Payne. I still have yet to go there, but
Yeah,
April
my
said
partner and I got one there. Like a week. And it's a very wonderful plant.
yeah.
Okay. My hands are now dirty, so I'm going to handle these seeds very carefully.
Do you want me to do it?
Yeah. I'll
Okay.
demonstrate how to do it, and then we'll go from there. Yeah. So 50% perlite, 50% vermiculite, 50% coconut coir. And then we just you see how nice and fluffy that is. So this is an inert mixture with a little bit of seaweed extract to stimulate germination and root development. And we just pretty much fill it up. And I love, the thing I love about this mix is just like how, like the particle size is nice and fine. Like perlite particles are huge, and I really don't like them for seed starting. I just happen to have a lot of perlite, and until recently I was able to get a hold of some vermiculite. But because I could never find vermiculite at any of the local hardware stores or nurseries, and then I found one in Burbank that has it. So, so if you're looking for it, this is not an endorsement, but Armstrong's in Burbank does have vermiculite. I'm not sure where else you can find it aside from online, but
What do they sell at Armstrong?
it's just like a nursery specialty store.
Oh.
It's like Green Thumb. Yeah, so pretty much. You want to do the other two?
Sure.
So then those are our white scallions. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a nice divot there. So for the scallions, I think it's good to just scatter a bunch, and then when they get to the right size, you can separate them out.
Thin them out.
You can, well, not thin them, but like actually physically separate them and plant the ones that you separated. You can, if you let them get big enough. If they stay small, then don't do that. Because otherwise they won't have developed the bulb structure and enough roots, and then it'll damage them in the process, at least in my opinion. So I'm going to wash off a bit. And I guess I'll just do a quick demonstration. And you want to do chives the same way, honestly.
It's gonna be interesting to feel. Do you want me to wait till after you're done?
You can start.
We could do it simultaneously.
Yeah, let's.
Okay, so I'm gonna be putting in this mixture.
Theodore Payne has so many things, and again, this is not an endorsement, but
We love to share resources.
yeah,
That's
we're
what
sharing
we call it.
resources.
That's what fellow gardeners love to do. I just, you know, they're not having seed exchange.
let's
things
take
on.
down this umbrella.
They're not having those right now.
Seed exchanges where?
I don't.
Your
that's
shadow
not-
is in the way.
Oh,
That's okay. There we go. That's good. Yeah, the lighting is kind of weird this time of day. But yeah, so basically, all those are wet now, so I'm going to use all of them. Here are scallion seeds. I'm just going to like scatter a bunch,
have you ever thought of growing pepper?
like black pepper.
Yeah,
It's a tropical.
okay.
I'm sure you can grow it in like Santa Monica or Mar Vista or Culver City, but I don't know about here. Can you grow tropicals in the valley? It depends. Yes, Calscape. That's another good resource. Thank you, wandering ecologist. I use Calscape all the time. Calscape and Calflora are two of my favorite websites.
Wandering ecologist, do you work at the CSUN Food Garden or volunteer? I haven't been there in a while, but
Yeah, that's the one run by Sustainability, yes?
yeah, I see pictures and it looks wonderful.
I'm sure it's very wonderful right now.
I saved some of the butternut squash seeds and they're gonna go to the So
gonna add a little
Collective Food Garden,
Awesome.
and I have some.
I still need to visit the So Collective.
Yeah, it's a really nice garden over there. They do a lot of
Yeah, I've
great
been-
activities for the community as well.
There you go. And see, this is ready. What I like to do oftentimes is just here. Let's Just mix that in. I like to give it like a
I
little
think I need more
spray from the top.
for the third one.
You think we need more? Well, there's
Let me
4.
try it. Actually, let me try it.
So if we need more, we can mix more. We'll just do it in there.
This is actually very satisfying.
Yeah, this is how.
I love touching this.
Oh, biodiversity coordinator and native plant ecologist.
Who is that?
Wandering ecologist.
Cool.
Yes, they do work here.
Cool. Let us know if you ever want to do a collab. Of
Please,
some sort.
I'm trying to get more native plants here in the wellness garden.
Yes.
Actually, you know, since you're into native plants, I'm going to show you this wandering ecologist, and I've been really excited about this particular native this year. Tansy leaf Phacelia everywhere. Richard, nice to meet you, Richard. I am Andreas. But Tansy leaf Phacelia just going off. It's been incredible. Yeah, we'd love to collab. That would be awesome. You know, I'm not sure if you guys do a lot with cover crops, but sort of on my own time outside of the Magrum Center, I've been really thinking about and looking into doing an 100% California native cover crop. And I've kind of done my own experimentation this year in my garden with brome grass and tarweed and lupine. And the results have been pretty cool, pretty good, I would say. But yeah, San Fernando Valley. It is native to the San Fernando Valley. I live up in Granada Hills and I see it growing wild. The wild ones are just finishing up and setting seed right now. Since we had a dry year, I guess. But do we need more?
We're doing 4 of that one too?
Yeah, because we're going to do 2 basil.
I think we do need more. I can try.
Yeah, it's okay if we need more. I'll mix more. But yeah, this is a fantastic medium for starting seeds. I used to use this kind of stuff all the time.
So to review, this one is a lot more funner to do if you want to make it activity. This one seems more like straightforward stuff.
Yeah, it reminds me, I need to start seeds. I need to get some medicinal herbs started. One native that we're going to bring here actually is California mugwort.
We started planting mugwort already, didn't we?
Well, that's not native mugwort. That's vulgaris. That's European mugwort or common mugwort. We're going to get native mugwort here too around the fruit trees. And then probably in some of the beds. That should be enough.
Yeah, if you want to collab, I don't know who Nat is, but
I don't know that either, but
our emails.
I know who he's talking about. Natal, Professor Zappia, right? Yeah, before the pandemic occurred, we were working on a hydroponics project, but that kind of got shelved, unfortunately, because of the pandemic. So that's just what tends to happen when you have a pandemic. So
You know what? But we'll make
do.
Yeah. Things are getting a lot better.
Things are getting better. Everyone's getting vaccinated. I'm vaccinated.
Oh yeah, they said yes. Dr. Nat Zappia?
Yes. Yeah, I've met him before. He's cool. He's really cool.
How many chive seeds should I just kind of sprinkle?
Same exact thing I did with the scallions. Same idea.
Okay.
Then we'll just let them get really nice and big and then break them up.
Just eyeball it. Funny, I never really pay attention to the seed depth.
I would put them out in your hand first, but you could do that. It'll give you more control. It's up to you. Every gardener has their way of doing things. That's just what I recommend, from my experience.
That should be good. Eyeball it.
Yeah, and then we'll do basil. It's basil season, finally. I
thought basil didn't do well in hot weather.
No, it's the opposite. It doesn't do well in cold weather.
Wow, okay.
Basil's warm season. Basil's native to the African continent. I think it's from Ethiopia originally. So it's definitely a tropical plant.
Okay, so this was...
I think that's the origin of basil. I could be wrong. And it's very interesting because, like, basil's native to Africa, but tomatoes are native to the Americas, yet they are amazing companion plants for one another. How could that be? Bet you it has something to do with the functional group.
This one is... Oh, this is for...
I wonder what the companion for
basil.
tomatoes are in the Andes, where tomatoes came from. Because tomatoes came from the Andes, potatoes came from the Andes. There are a lot of like really interesting crops that come from like the Andes region that have been grown by indigenous groups in the region for thousands of years.
Where do you learn this from?
I just do research on the internet. But there's one I've been, a lot of them
How do you know what a reliable source is?
How do I know what a reliable source is? Well, like if I come up with the name of a plant, you know, on like some website or whatever, like some gardening website or some permaculture website, I'll Google the Latin name and then I'll get more information about it from like Wikipedia or from the Ferns. A really good website is theferns.info. They cite all their sources. And theferns.info is a database of useful plants containing about 20,000 species. And so whenever if they don't have a lot of plants on there that, you know, are actually useful and have traditional uses that have not been well documented. So for example, not a lot of California natives. If you're looking for California natives that are like multifunctional and multi-use, that I would talk to an indigenous land steward or research traditional uses.
Where's the stick for
but-
the basil? Oh.
But the Ferns has a lot of amazing information on useful plants from temperate and tropical regions. I've been reading up on Lucina leucocephala, which is a tree.
I am amazed at how you remember all these names.
Because I work with these plants. I just scarified the seeds last night of Lucina. Because I'm using it for agroforestry back at home. I'm like kind of like doing a syntropic garden at my house.
Cool. Cal Flora is great for natives. Said I have a, and then, oh my goodness, Richard said, I have a list of edible native plants of Los Angeles if anyone is interested with resources.
Awesome. Please post that to the chat if there's a link. If not, maybe we can find a way to distribute that.
I have a list of
If you'd
edible
like it to be
native plants
distributed.
of Los Angeles if anyone's interested.
I know of a couple of edible native plants.
Like,
Buckwheat. Buckwheat is edible.
how do you
Buckwheat's very
how do
common
you
here.
harvest the buckwheat? Like,
The seeds. You can use it to make bread. Oak acorns are edible.
oak acorns.
You have to process them first, but to get like the tannins out. But
I wonder
yeah,
if
they're
those are
edible.
the acorns.
You can
that I
make them
used
into
to-
bread. You can eat them as like fresh nuts. I have all these oak trees behind my house that produce tons of acorns. I'm going to start foraging them this year.
Really, you're gonna start eating them?
Yeah.
I'm like scared to eat certain things because native buckwheat is kind of edible.
Kind of edible.
Kind of. Oh, he said, yeah, it's a Google Doc. I'll find it.
Awesome.
Yeah, how would he share that Google Doc with us though?
I mean the link, all the chat logs are saved of these lives, right? So if you were to post it in the chat, Richard, I'm sure people would be able to access it, and then maybe we could find a better way to distribute it, because I feel like, you know, if it's just buried in the comments here, not a lot of people are going to see it. I think we have enough now.
Wait, I thought we finished all the. We're doing a second one.
A second one of basil, so we can fill up all the space in the germination table. What time is it?
It is. What time is it? Oh my gosh, time flew. It's already 5.
It's 5?
Yeah.
Oh, well then.
It's a lot of work for buckwheat. Is that kind
it's
of like,
a lot of work. Oh, I
like
see.
to harvest it? I know amaranth is like. You have to really,
Yeah, I'm growing amaranth at home. I'm growing this Mexican red amaranth. The seeds are just coming up. The seedlings are beautiful.
So let me know how the process is for harvesting
Yeah.
those
Yeah, but
grains. Oh, great. We have the Google Doc here.
thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you. I didn't know that the chat saves.
It should, right?
I
It
don't-
does on Facebook Live. I would imagine that because Instagram and Facebook are owned by the same company.
Let me see. I'm going to try to click it. I'm going to try to...
Let me get another label for the basil.
Oh, I can't click it from here. Well, here we have it. We have the chives, which one is this one? The scallions, sweet basil, and this is going to be the second basil.
You want to write this in?
Yes, I will.
Yeah, we have extras, so, but not enough. Oh, I know what we could use the extra for. I just don't have the seeds with me. To start some loofah. Because we definitely want to do some loofah here. That's for sure.
Loofah is a funny. I remember that the sustainable Seasun food garden were growing loofah, and that's a fun one to grow. I've heard, and to look at as well. Grows kind of big.
Yeah, let's demonstrate the basil seeds really quick, and then we gotta go. Yes, amaranth.
Okay. Woo! All right. Sweet basil.
I see that my partner is in the chat. Hey, McKenna.
Cool.
I will show you the amaranth when I get home. Yeah, so this one, instead of doing a divot, just a hole.
A hole?
Just a hole. And then put like 2 or 3 seeds in the hole.
A divot. Love that term.
Then just pretty much cover up the hole and you're good to go. Basil takes like 2 weeks
Oh, I
to
already
germinate.
put basil there.
Oh, you did? Shoot. Yeah, the problem with the vermiculite is that it tends to get compacted.
Oh.
And the coconut coir, they both tend to compact a bit more, but it's still, I like this mixture. I really do. I'm gonna save the rest of it and take it home to start some loofah.
This was fun.
Yeah, wasn't it?
This felt like a 5th grade or 4th grade project.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And this is something my kid enjoys too.
So there we have it, folks. The
All right,
basil.
that's how you start seeds hydroponically. Now, really quickly, I would like to demonstrate the system and the principle behind it.
All right.
Because we don't have time, so we have to
Get out of your way.
But if you go over here, So this fig tree is getting massive. Look at this thing.
I
It's
know.
gonna have so many figs this year. So this is the ebb and flow table. I know we've shown it before on the live stream, but I'll just give you guys another look. So yeah, this is our ebb and flow table. I just emptied out all of the water. As we're gonna put new water in it. Let's get a view over the inside. So here's the pump that runs the whole thing right here. It's hard to get a shot, but you see it pumps the water up to the bottom of this trough, and then it exits back into the tank down here, and then here's just the tank. I just installed another pump today for aeration, but we're going to be getting some air stones and an air pump, because since this is organic hydroponics, it's important to have some kind of constant aeration. And then pretty much all you have to do, just put them in there and then let the system run, and the timer is set to irrigate the trough, the table, twice per day for 15 minutes. And that will pretty much enable you to water your seedlings with a bath of nutrients and water automatically. So very convenient for starting seeds. And the ones that we did in the loose media will transplant into soil all right. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you for joining
thank you.
our live. This
Thank
was
you.
a fun one.
It was
a lot
very
of
fun.
Interaction. And
Yeah,
I'm glad
lots of
more-
interaction, lots going on.
I'm glad more people were able to join because of the time change. So
Yeah, and the weather's much nicer right now than it is usually, and the garden looks fantastic. Things coming up everywhere.
it's golden hour, people.
It is golden hour. Really excited for everything that's going on. Well, all right, we're gonna get off the live. We have a couple quick items of business to take care of before we close our doors here at the garden for the day and go home. But thank you for joining us, and thank you again, Richard, for sharing all that information. Very helpful to me and Brianna, I'm sure, as well, and everybody else who is watching. So thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you next week, 4 o'clock on Thursday. Ciao.